I'm David Scandura.
I'm Justus Burkett. Waka waka waka.
And today we're here to find out, is the Muppet Movie the greatest movie ever made?
You don't go to Bombay to become a movie star. You go where we're going, Hollywood.
Sure, if you want to do it the easy way.
I think that's the first time in my life I've ever tried Fozzie the Bear.
I thought you were trying Kermit, but initially I thought you were trying Kermit. The second thing you said sounded like Fozzie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kermit, I mean, they're Muppet accents in general,
Yeah.
Muppet voices, are sort of like Yoda, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everyone has one in their back pocket.
Yeah.
But to do a really good one, you have to put in the effort.
Yeah. Also, like, I was noticing in this movie especially, it is funny because those Muppet Crew guys are all legends, of course. You know, Jim Henson, Frank Oz, Steve Whitmire, and company, etc. But it did really strike me this time, specifically watching this movie, how many of the voices kind of sound the same. A lot of the main characters have their own very distinct thing. But then some of the, like, B-tier Muppets, I'm thinking, like, Dr. Teeth and Rolf the dog. Those guys kind of have the same thing going on. And it's Jim Henson doing both voices. So I'm like, yeah, Jim Henson, like, had the Kermit voice. He only really deploys that as Kermit. But then Rolf the dog and Dr. Teeth are both we're both just kind of right here for those.
Yeah, because Rolf the Dog's got a full-on musical number and dialogue scene in this. And as someone who is not familiar with true Jim Henson era Muppets, aside from The Great Muppet Caper, which we did last year, and now this film, I can't remember a single line of dialogue that I've heard that dog
this
say.
Is the most you've ever heard from Rolf the dog.
Yeah. He's just he's always been kind of like part of the background ensemble.
Yeah. A little bit more at the forefront in the Muppet Show. I would say Rolf the dog and Scooter especially loom much larger in the Muppet Show than they do in basically any of the movies. Scooter especially. Scooter is like always sidelined in the movies, but in the Muppet Show, he is maybe like the fourth biggest Muppet, like the Muppet with like the fourth most screen time behind like Kermit, Miss Piggy, and Gonzo, or actually Fozzie in the show. He probably has more to do than Gonzo in the show. But I also get why Scooter, which is basically the most like white guy coded Muppet.
Yeah, the fucking nerdlinger Muppet.
Yeah. I love the line when Scooter gets introduced in this movie because he's hanging with Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem at the church, and they're like, "Yeah, that's our tour manager, Scooter." And he's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Oh, so he's the guy with the contacts?" No, he's the guy with the van. Yeah. That's his whole deal. He just like owns a car. And that's why he gets to be part of the crew. Yeah.
Also, quite a bit of Sweetums in this movie.
I love Sweetums, man.
And it's they do one scene of him, like one scene checking in on Sweetums, trying to make his way to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the movie, I'm like waiting for more.
He comes back.
And then he comes back at the end.
Yeah.
Literally like the end pops up on screen, and I was like, okay, well, there's Sweetums. He's bursting through the movie screen, of course.
Yeah. There's a lot of line deliveries from this Muppet movie that occupy substantial brain space for me because I saw this at such a formative age. And one of them is definitely Jack not name, Jack job. When he's working at the car dealership and he's just picking up the cars and moving them. Yeah. I love Sweetums, man.
I need like Sweetums and Chewbacca on a podcast or something.
Yeah. Those guys seem like they would get along.
I think so.
They have a lot in common, those two guys.
Yeah.
They're both big brown hairy monsters.
Yeah.
Is it racist to call a Wookiee a monster? Is that?
I mean,
they're kind of they're basically Bigfoots.
Yeah.
You know? Which it is Bigfoots and not Big Feet.
Big Feet?
It's not Big Feet. The cryptid community will get very mad at you if you refer to them as Big Feet. It is
then
Bigfoots.
What about Proudfoots and Proud Feet?
I think that's we're dealing with hobbits versus Sasquatch here. It's kind of apples and oranges.
But it's the same.
You can't apply the same.
We need some consistency.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the greatest movie ever made. The show where we watch a movie and tell you if it's the greatest movie ever made.
Yep. I already said waka waka up top.
Woman!
Woman! Eat drums!
A movie that is so thoroughly entertaining or compelling that while you're watching it, it's the only thing that matters in the world.
Yeah.
I'm David Scandura, joined as always by my co-host, Justus Burkett.
Mm-hmm.
It's another late night recording, everyone.
It is.
Our lives
TGMEM
are
After Dark. Once more.
strangely busy, so
Yeah.
we just kind of squeeze these in when we can.
Yep. That is the nature of doing a podcast while you also have all of the regular things going on in your life. Like a job and shit.
Because podcast has not become job yet.
No.
Probably won't.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
We're not getting that Max Fun deal
No.
anytime soon.
No.
You know, Rogan's not giving us a call.
No, certainly not. Although, I mean, I'll take your money, Joe Rogan. I'm not, if you're interested in investing in TGMEM Enterprises, you want to pick us up for add us to your, podcasting empire, be my guest. I just, I'm not going to change my, any of my political beliefs. I'm basically going to say all the same shit.
The thing is you can go onto Joe Rogan's show and basically
You can say anything.
That man sways easier than like
Oh,
a
yeah.
quaking aspen in a hurricane.
Yeah, like Bernie Sanders went on there and Joe Rogan was like, yeah, man, yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying. And then it's like fucking Jordan Peterson goes on and like cries about how men aren't getting their dicks sucked enough or whatever. And Joe Rogan's like, yeah, you're right. That is the biggest issue of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. Anyway.
It's cool to be a guy with no beliefs whatever and to just be like,
no
whoever
morals,
I'm talking to, I
no
just agree with.
convictions, no spine.
Yeah.
Um,
Whatever is the most recent statistic I heard rattled off is exactly what I believe.
Anyway, the
and I
wind
don't need to
blows.
check the source on it.
Whatever the flavor of the month is.
Yeah.
That's anyway. I don't know why we're talking about Joe Rogan,
I
but
don't
we
know.
got there. Justus, how are you doing?
I'm like kind of bad.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so like I don't even really know what's going on with me, but like you and I have discussed it off mic as friends. What I want to share, the amount that I want to share on mic, is that I am taking an extended break from alcohol right now. And all of the things that I had been led to believe about taking an extended break from alcohol is that it would make me feel better. and physically, I'm a few weeks deep in this now. And I physically do feel better. This week, however, has maybe been mentally and just like focus-wise, motivation-wise, mood-wise, basically like the worst week of the year so far for me. And I'm like, why is this I thought my brain was going to get better from not drinking. And I think it must not be related to alcohol, either having it or not having it, because theoretically that should only make it better. So I'm like, maybe this week would have been even worse if I was drinking right now. But like, it is a little frustrating to be like, oh, I thought that like, my focus and, my attention span and my sleep and my mood was going to be improved 3 weeks into this. And to feel like I am like worse than ever has not like been awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I'm dealing with that and just but the nice thing is that it has not manifested as a craving or a temptation to like just say fuck it to this thing that I'm doing and just go back to an old unhealthy habit, right? Because it has been pretty easy to just like not drink. And I'm like, it's not like being in a shitty mental space this week has made me want to drink more. It's just made me frustrated that not drinking hasn't helped, where it's like, oh, cool. This clearly isn't entirely related to that. Otherwise, I would not be experiencing this right now.
Yeah, I mean, we are complex creatures governed by a complex fabric of emotions.
Yeah.
And life experiences.
Yeah.
And
the problem is, though, I can't identify a different cause, right? It's like, so it wasn't the drinking. I know that because I'm not doing that right now. Then what the fuck is it? Right? I gotta start like believing in astrology or something to understand why this is happening, because there's no discernible cause. Nothing has happened in my life. It's just like I just feel like shit for no reason.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just annoying, you know. But yeah. So that's me. I did want to say, in terms of like media stuff that I've been enjoying, I am still very, very much on my like 70s and 80s post-punk kick that I talked about a couple weeks ago. Like that's most of what I'm listening to musically right now is that stuff. And not that they need it, but I do want to shout out maybe the best band of all time, New Order. I have listened to a lot of their music in the past. It has often been on heavy rotation. But one of their albums that I had not really listened to that much and have been listening to a lot in the last like couple weeks is their first album, Movement. And I don't know why that one wasn't on heavy rotation when I've been in New Order phases in the past. Because now I'm like, oh, this is maybe their best album. I think it's like perfect. And if you have not heard Movement by New Order, you're like missing out on, in my opinion, probably one of the greatest albums of all time. So yeah, give that one a spin.
Cool.
I've just been I'm fucking so New Order pilled. I need to, I don't know, get some vinyl, New Order records, because right now all I have is Joy Division, and I should remedy that, because I think, as many men do when they go from their 20s to their 30s and eventually 40s, I have hit the point where I'm like, New Order is better than Joy Division. I think I like them more in the New Order phase of their career. How are you?
Have you had a Bob Dylan phase yet?
I had a Bob Dylan phase in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. I went deep on Bob Dylan in high school.
Because John Mayer said that something to the effect of, you either had a Dylan phase, you're in your Dylan phase,
right,
or you're going to have a Dylan phase.
Yeah. My Dylan phase was like when I was like 16, 17. My dad got like a external hard drive with like a bunch of music on it from a friend of his. Like the friend just like copied like a ton of music he had digitized onto like an external hard drive. And so then my dad gave it to me and my brothers too. Like it was just on the family computer. So he was like, hey, this exists, this big hard drive of music. Take whatever you want from there, like put it on your iPods or whatever. And like every Bob Dylan album was on there. And so that's when I did my Dylan deep dive, was like when I was like 16 or so. And yeah, went deep on Dylan.
Yeah. That was about when I did it. I think it was 16 to like probably my first couple of college years.
Yeah. Good time to get into Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
When you're like in your, mid to late teens.
Yeah. I have Closer. That's the only Joy Division album that I have.
That's the best one. I
think I've heard it once.
Unknown Pleasures is good, but Closer is better.
And I haven't heard any New Order, so I guess
listen to Movement. It's really good.
Okay.
But yeah, how are you?
Kind of bad.
Yeah, well. It's in the stars, I'm telling you. We got to start believing in astrology so that we understand this.
This has happened to me twice now. The exact work event that I'm about to describe in a way that's like as vague as possible and respectful enough to the people that involves.
Sure.
Where I show up to work and I am my assignment is changed because there's too many people doing other stuff and there's nowhere that I can fit in to do work, and I'm assigned to ride around with someone who's more experienced, delivering packages all day, driving around town. And that person is apparently two people who are extremely similar, where it's like they're relatively easy to talk to. You can ask them one question and they'll just talk, for a few minutes, and you don't have to contribute that much.
Yeah.
And they, you very quickly learn that they lean right, and at any moment they may drop the N-word, and you just sort of like,
yikes.
It never happened, but it was just like, like the
Right.
president with his finger over the button. At any moment it could happen, and I'm just waiting for the fucking nukes to go off.
Yeah. The current president, by the way, does have his finger over that button, not just the nuke button.
Well, he's got a nuke button and an N-word
yes,
button.
he also has an N-word button, and we're just waiting for him to press the N-word button. I am shocked that he has not said that yet. I'm sure he's saying it, but that we don't have an audio clip that has made the news of him just dropping a slur. It's shocking to me that has not happened.
Yeah.
It feels like we're way overdue.
I think so. Anyway, so there's two different guys like this at the post office, and during the day, it's a relatively easy day in terms of the amount of work that we have. They're also experienced and they've been there a while, so it's they know how to kind of stretch things a little bit and make the day go longer than it actually make the day go longer than the amount of work that we have.
Right.
And we also talk about other people at work, what management is like, what their experiences are like, personal stuff. Not so much gossip, because I don't really like that, but I'm just trying to get a sense where it's hey, what do you think of so-and-so? I can't really get a read on them.
Yeah.
And that's always difficult for me. So this has happened twice. Again, two different guys.
Yeah.
I had and similar conversations, similar personalities with these guys.
Yeah.
And I get to the end of the day, and the toll of the day finally hits me. I get home and it's just I am toast. I am completely fried.
Yeah.
And it's they're relatively pleasant as far as work coworkers go.
Yeah.
And it was not that hard to talk to them throughout the day, but it was just the amount of social interaction was too much.
Right.
Being in the same vehicle as this other person for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Talking to them.
That is a lot.
And it was it happened the first time, and then it fucking happened last night, where it's I'm going to be hearing this guy's voice in my dreams.
Yeah.
I got home, I fucking threw on Crank.
Yeah.
Because the universe has been telling me to watch Crank with Jason Statham.
We talked about Crank in our Alien 3 episode.
Yeah, it's shown up in other places. I'm fuck, I got to watch Crank.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the first 45 minutes of Crank are perfect.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
saw someone on Letterboxd describe the premise of that movie in the funniest way that I couldn't believe I had never heard anyone describe it before, which is Speed with Jason Statham as the bus. Because he's on a timer.
it's a video game movie.
Yeah, right.
They're very clearly influenced by video games.
Yeah. For sure.
While I was watching it, I was oh, fucking double feature this with Run Lola Run or something.
Yeah.
Movies influenced by video games that aren't about video games.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the movie hits, and he has to have a girlfriend, and things get a little bit spottier.
Yeah,
but
we do get
the
thing in the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
too.
we do get the sex scene, which is ridiculous.
Right.
But so kind of a turn your brain off movie, but also so overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then I get some dinner, and it tastes good for a while, and then at the end I just start feeling kind of sick of it and tired of it, and it's oily and greasy in a way that I don't like, and I start not feeling very good. And then I'm just completely a hollowed out shell of a person for the next few hours sitting on my couch.
Yeah.
And I was I could watch the Muppet Movie, but I feel even too drained sensory level to watch the Muppet Movie.
Sure.
So I fucking threw on Last and First Men.
I did,
which I think I may be the only person to have watched Crank and then Last and First Men in the same night.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if that has never happened before and may never happen again.
Yeah, because Last and First Met, we'll probably do it on the show at some point.
Yeah, we've talked about this as a movie that it would be insane for us to pick because it's impossible to talk
right,
about.
And I was thinking we would just do a month of those.
Right, yeah. Like, our Last and First Met episode would either be the shortest or longest episode of this podcast of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we would either have 20 minutes worth of shit to say about it, or it would be 4 hours long.
Yeah. and so for those who don't know, it is a slow experimental film.
It's sort of a visual collage, more than a movie,
with basically very relatively still images of World War II monuments in Eastern Europe, narrated by Tilda Swinton. So it's like I needed something to calm down. I thought it would be a good movie to watch. I've been meaning to rewatch it, and it was. And then I went to sleep and I heard this fucking guy's voice in my dreams, and I was having weird work dreams. And then I woke up at 2 and I was up from 2 until 6.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I felt like I was on the verge of going crazy.
Yeah.
And then today was good. Like at 6, I went back to sleep for a few more hours, woke up, kind of started things off slowly. Then I went to the gym. I got some food that actually sounded good today. Yeah. Rather than just relying on like the Stockholm we talked about this, like restaurants you have Stockholm syndrome with.
Yes.
That's what happened to me yesterday. I was like, let's fucking go to the Safeway Deli again this week, and it just kind of bit me in the ass.
It was bad to you, yeah. It's like an abusive relationship with that Safeway Deli.
It really is.
Where it's like, whatever, I can treat you however I want. I know you're going to come crawling back.
And the food was like good quality. Like it was actually one of the, there have been times where I get like the chicken and it's dry and it's been sitting under the heat lamp for a while. And this was like, it was like fresh and it was pretty good. And then, but by the end I was just like feeling bad eating it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yesterday was fucking wild. Today was better, but I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
Hey, that makes 2 of us. I also don't know what's wrong with my brain.
It's just, I don't know, man. I think there are some people who are great for like 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And I haven't encountered a lot of those while working from home.
Right.
But now that I'm more social and work in an office with other people, even if I only see most of them for a short period of the day, there's probably a few of those there. And maybe I just need to be better about, and again, like, ideological differences aside, kind of level of maturity aside, in certain regards, both of these guys were very nice.
Yeah.
Like, easy to talk to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I was like, completely mentally drained.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a me thing or what.
Right. Well, sometimes like I find that even when I spend a large amount of the day talking and in the company of people that I like, even like sometimes by the end of the day, I'm just like, I gotta fucking remove myself from this situation and go be quiet and alone because it's just too much to just be around people and talking for that long. So, yeah. It might have less to do with them and more to do with just like socializing for large periods of time is hard, regardless of who you're doing it with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess my media recommendations are Crank and Last and First Men. Then
right. Yeah. Watch both of those movies back to back.
Yeah. The most over the top movie and then the most understated, contemplative movie.
Right. They are sort of like opposite ends of the movie spectrum in a lot of ways. Those 2 movies. Yeah.
But both about mortality.
Do you think Neville Dean and Taylor have seen Last and First Men?
No, I don't know.
Do you think Tilda Swinton has seen Crank? I feel like there's a higher likelihood of that, actually. Yeah.
We need a Tilda Swinton action franchise.
Yeah.
Give that woman a fucking AK-47.
I think she can do anything. She can definitely do an action movie. If Bob Odenkirk can be an action hero, Tilda Swinton easily can.
I just need her, saying swear words in her wonderful voice.
Yeah.
and shooting Al Qaeda.
I think she would be a great, if we're going to just keep rebooting Bond until the end of time, I think she would be a great M in Bond.
That would be really good casting.
Yeah. Because she's like getting old.
For the next woman M?
Yeah. She's getting old enough that she kind of is starting to have that like grand matriarch authority that like Judi Dench brought to it.
Fucking make her a villain.
Yeah. Man, Tilda Swinton as a Bond villain. How has that not happened yet?
There's really only
just like the president saying the N-word. I can't believe we haven't had this happen yet.
Tilda Swinton Bond villain. Yeah. There's only been a few like Bond films where the main villain, the main mastermind is a woman. So I think we're due for one of those.
I agree.
But we're also due to talk about the Muppet Movie.
Yes. The Muppet Movie from 1979, directed by James Frawley, of course produced by Jim Henson, written by Jerry Jewell and Jack Burns, who were also part of the like OG Muppets crew. A lot of the guys from the Muppet Show are involved in the making of this movie, obviously, because this is the first feature. This is the Muppets jump from television to feature films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long was this after the debut of the Muppet Show?
Oh, I don't know that off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up because I'm not sure when the Muppet Show came out. I know it came out in the 70s. I want to say, in my bones, I feel like it was like 76, 75 that the Muppet Show came out. 76, it looks like. Yeah. So 1976, the Muppet Show premieres. So this is 3 years deep in the Muppet Show. And the Muppet Show did keep going. So this movie comes out in 1979, but the Muppet Show was still airing in 79. It aired all the way up to 1981, the OG Muppet Show. So the first, I think, couple Muppet movies came out while the show was still on the air as well.
Okay. So this is like peak Muppet popularity.
Yes. Because they're 3 years deep in the show. The show is getting enormously popular. They're starting to get really big people on. Like you watch some of those old Muppet Show episodes, and it is very funny. Like they had like supermodels on, like Twiggy was on, and like fucking they have like I don't remember if John Denver was on the show. He collaborated with the Muppets a couple of times. Mm-hmm. Like they have a Christmas album together and stuff. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure he was also on the show. It's like so they end up getting like some pretty big names on there for the time. And it's very fun to see like these like people who are like the top of celebrity in like the late 70s just like sitting down for an interview with Kermit the Frog. It's great shit, and I feel like there has never been anything like it before or since, where it was like, this was one of the biggest shows in America, and it was a variety show where all of the performers are puppets. And then you bring on like actual human celebrities and like, they do a number. Like, whoever's popular will like sing a song with the Muppets.
Right. At least until Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Which like Sesame Street is more explicitly kid-oriented and educational compared to the Muppet Show, which... I had meant to watch maybe a little bit of the Muppet Show before this, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But you've always described it as slightly more adult leaning.
Yes.
And anarchic and chaotic.
Yes.
And kind of raunchy at times.
Yes. And I think it is all of those things more than any of the Muppet movies, including this one. I think that as much as this movie has jokes that are very much for the grown-ups here and there, the Muppet Show is like, I feel like it's the most adult that the Muppets ever got. And it's not like, there's nothing like, we're not doing fucking Meet the Feebles or whatever. Like, it's not that level of adult.
Yeah.
But it is like, there's lots of jokes in the OG Muppet Show that will just go over kids' heads. And there's like some shit where like, if they have like they have Twiggy on, like there's going to be a joke about how Miss Piggy is like jealous that like Kermit is flirting with this supermodel that's on the show and shit. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. So your history with the Muppets has been well documented on this podcast.
Right.
Where does this movie fit into that for you?
I don't even remember how old I was. Like with a lot of the Muppet movies we've talked about, I think this has been the case with all three of them now that we've covered, because we also did the Great Muppet Caper and Muppet Christmas Carol. I think for all of these movies that we've talked about, I can't remember the first time I saw it because I was so young.
Mm-hmm.
So like I truly was raised on all of these. The Muppet Movie, the one that we're here to talk about today, very much included. I have seen this movie upwards of a dozen times throughout my childhood. It was a pretty frequent watch, maybe less frequent than some of the other ones. Like I feel like I maybe watched Muppet Treasure Island and The Great Muppet Caper potentially more than this. Maybe Muppet Christmas Carol as well. But like this one was for sure on heavy rotation still. And I think maybe one of the reasons that we maybe watched this one a little bit less is because it is, as a kid, there are some moments of this movie that I feel like that kids aren't going to appreciate as much as grown-ups are. I feel like there are some moments of this movie that are like maybe a little bit boring for kids. That I do not feel that way about it as an adult at all. Like specifically the Joshua Tree sequence, I think is like one of the ones that sticks out to me, because it is kind of a moment towards the end of the movie where we like take a big quiet moment and sing like a sad contemplative song, and then like Kermit has a conversation with his own conscience. And I feel like when you're like 6, that's not what you want as much as the like crazy antics like Gonzo flying away on balloons and shit.
You're tuning the fuck out, just like the romantic song in the middle of Christmas Carol.
Right. Yeah. And now as a grown up, I love the romantic song in the Christmas Carol, and I love all the stuff in Joshua Tree in this.
Do you remember if you were more of a Muppet Show watcher as a kid, or did you see the movies more?
For sure the movies more, because we didn't see the show until the show was like available on DVD and we could like get it from Barnes & Noble, which was like later into my childhood than when the movies were available. We had the movies on like VHS, like before DVDs were like even really a thing. Mm-hmm. And so I was watching the movies way earlier than I started watching the show. And then once we got like the big box set of the whole show, we would watch it and it would be on rotation, and I've seen probably every episode of the Muppet Show at least once, but it was not as heavy. It wasn't on as heavy rotation, especially because I was older by then. So I was like going to the movies with my friends and stuff, and I wasn't like spending as much time like at home parked in front of the TV as I was when I was a kid and like VHSs were king, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add about your relationship to this film before we?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think I had Muppet trading cards when I was a kid. I was like really deep on
I didn't know
shit.
about that.
Yeah. I had me and my brother had binders full of Muppet trading cards. Like we had like those like binder sheets that you could put like baseball cards in.
Yeah.
We got those for our Muppet trading cards.
I had a few of those because I wanted to get into baseball cards.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like a baseball fan. Like I liked the Diamondbacks because I was a kid. and you know, I lived in Arizona and I went to go see the Diamondbacks a couple of times, and I liked Randy Johnson. But I wasn't like I never got that deep into sports that I became a baseball a baseball card collector.
Yeah.
So we would I remember we had a couple like Star Wars trading cards in the binder. And then we got the Lego magazine, and occasionally Lego would as part of the magazine, they would have something, a toy or something for you to put together.
Yeah.
Or they also would do like trading cards, or they were trying I think they had we had like a card for like
the idea
a castle game that
yeah.
A castle series that they had.
Yeah.
I think there were probably a couple Bionicle ones.
Oh, of course.
We had those.
Have to be.
We had those Bionicle comics, baby.
Dude, Bionicle had the absolute stranglehold that Bionicle had on me and my older brother when we were kids.
Dude.
Just like any time we were in possession of the meagerest amount of money. It immediately went into the pockets of Mr. Kmart so that we could get some fucking Bionicles off of those sweet shelves.
We had a bit. We didn't have that many. I always wanted more. But we'll like the early runs, the early product lines. We had like a couple of each of those.
Yeah. My brother used to buy the good guys, and I bought the bad guys.
Oh
which
yeah,
was a lot of fun.
I loved the bad guys.
Yeah,
I was buying the Rakshi and the Borak.
I was like, bitch, you can have all the Toa you want. I will be buying the Borak cow.
Yeah. And then I think the Bionicle comics were my first real experience with comic books.
Yeah. Did you ever play the Matanui online game?
I did not, but I played
like a point-and-click adventure game.
I think we may have rented the Bionicle Mask of Light video game for the Nintendo GameCube.
Right.
And I don't know that we owned... I'm trying to remember. It was one of those that we probably played it for 2 hours and we're like, okay, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the Bionicle
Mask of Light.
Mask of Light, the movie, for sure.
Next week.
That's almost certainly going to hit this podcast sometime. Anyway, the Muppet Movie.
Muppet Movie. As I've previously stated, when I was a kid, I only saw Muppet Treasure Island and Muppet Christmas Carol. I was born a few years after Jim Henson's passing, so
yes.
And my dad liked the Muppets, but we never got the Muppet Show on home video or DVD. And probably at that point, was around the same age as you and moving on to, Megan Fox's midriff and Transformers.
Right. Of course. As you do. As is the rite of passage for any young man.
Right. Just leaning over the hood of that car, and that's the day you become a man. So this is my first time watching this movie. And in the words of the Swedish chef, "Flum is okie dokie."
The flum is okie dokie. I like when he fucks up the projection.
Yeah,
that's very fun.
It's a good Swedish chef cameo. I'm kind of waiting for him the whole movie, and then he gets that one little scene, but it's very memorable.
Yeah. You shouldn't make the Swedish chef well, I guess he has to be the projectionist because he's the only one with human hands. That's probably why he's working the projection.
That would make sense.
It's because he's the one with normal, regular hands that can operate human equipment. Yeah, the film is indeed okie dokie. Yeah, I don't know. It is the Muppet Movie, so this thing obviously looms large over culture.
I guess it's in the Library of Congress now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Had a couple of Academy Award nominations the year it was released, too. Both of them were for music, but music in this movie is pretty fucking good.
I'm glad
good songs in this movie.
I think, Muppet Christmas Carol might be the most memorable movie musically out of the Muppet movies we've covered so far, mostly just because I've seen it the most.
Right.
But the music's also quite good in that.
Yeah.
I can't really remember much of the music from Great Muppet Caper at all, other than Charles Grodin going, "Miss Piggy."
Happiness, Miss Piggy.
So I will say that I think the music in this movie is as good as the music in Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
It is memorable. It is extremely catchy and well written, and I mean, I've only seen this movie once, and most of the musical moments in it I remember really well.
Yeah, and Rainbow Connection is the cultural legacy of that song obviously extends far beyond just this movie, right? That as a song had made its own sort of ripples in the culture. But it is a testament to the strength of the music in this movie that when you watch the movie, Rainbow Connection doesn't stick out as the obvious best song. I think they're kind of all great.
Yeah.
I love Moving Right Along.
Moving Right Along is as good as Rainbow.
Yes.
As immediately memorable and as good as Rainbow Connection.
Yep. Footloose and fancy free. It's so good. I absolutely love the fucking psychedelic rock song that Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem sing while they're painting the Studebaker.
Yeah.
That shit fucking whips. It's so good. That sequence, like, when I was a kid, I feel like it like rewired my brain, where I was like, oh, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen when I'm like 7 years old or whatever. Like them pouring the paint on the camera and shit when they're like
that's a really great shot.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, moving right along was the moment for me in this movie where I was like, okay, I'm watching a Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Like Rainbow Connection's. I hadn't heard Rainbow Connection before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd never heard it. I heard of it, but hadn't actually listened to it. It's a great, quiet, sentimental way to open the movie, and just like immediately kind of gives you the magic of the Muppets that was so specific to the Jim Henson era.
Yeah.
As opposed to later on where things are a little bit more produced and stagey and still very technically impressive, but this is just a frog playing a banjo on a log in the middle of a swamp.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a real swamp or if that swamp is a set, but it looks fucking amazing.
Yes, I love the helicopter shot, like the slow descent into the swamp. The swamp, yeah, does look incredible. I love this little frog playing his banjo in the swamp. It's probably unsurprising to you, David, that this movie has a cry count, just because it is so deeply nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
So I did cry watching the Muppet Movie, and like pretty much immediately I was crying because we open with Rainbow Connection. And this is like if you want me to start crying, it's like a button that you can press to make that happen is just play Rainbow Connection. Specifically, the part where Kermit sings the "Have you been half asleep and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name." Is that the voice that calls the young sailor? I've heard they're one and the same or whatever. I like that bit always. I'm just like, fuck. And I like, part of it is like just the nostalgic connection. It just makes me feel like a kid hearing this song. But also part of it is like the song does such a good job of introducing what this movie is about. It's like in the lyrics of the song. 'Cause what he's talking about is, it's someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. He's talking about like finding the thing that you're passionate about, right? And it's like that is what the Muppet Movie is about. It is like metatextually, it is about Jim Henson and Frank Oz and their ragtag group of weirdo puppet enthusiasts who, like, first through Sesame Street and then through the Muppet Show and now through this movie, are getting an opportunity to like do their weird little shit that they're passionate about and have that be recognized and have it like pay for their livelihood and stuff. And it's like it really is a passion project by a bunch of artists that is the story of them getting to where they are, right? And so when Kermit is in the swamp playing his little banjo and singing Rainbow Connection, one of the reasons it hits so hard for me is because that is like, it literally is Jim Henson being like, I was just like some guy who like was obsessed with ventriloquists, and was like, I want to do that. And like, now I get to just make movies. And isn't that so incredible? Like, isn't it amazing that people have given me the opportunities to give me a platform for what I'm passionate about, and because it's there, like, from basically the first minute of the movie, I feel like the movie does such a good job of having that theme as the focal point of the work throughout,
Yeah, and it makes total sense when it is the song that's reprised at the end of the film.
Yeah.
It ties everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the opening sequences with Rainbow Connection is like you said, it's a great way to set up the themes of the film and where Kermit's at the beginning. And then when moving right along comes, for me, that was like, oh, okay, this is what I like about the Muppets. This is everything that I remember about the Muppet movies that I watched as a kid, is just like the fun and the antics between the characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like all the gags in that song too, where there's like they're in Saskatchewan at one point.
Yeah,
there's
a
they drive
Mountie.
past a Mountie.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And like there's like the line like, I've never seen the sun come up in the west. Because they've like circumnavigated the globe or whatever in their Studebaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also in the middle of that song is when the fork in the road joke happens, which I think is so fucking funny.
It's very funny.
It's just a giant fork in the road.
There's some jokes in this movie that made me kind of roll my eyes because it's a lot of sight gags and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Puns and the like. But the fork in the road was very good. I'm glad that you mentioned the theme of the movie and how it's set up in Rainbow Connection, because that's not really something that I was expecting.
Yeah.
The Muppet Christmas Carol has the themes of the Dickens work,
right,
basically translated 1-to-1. I don't know that adding Muppets into the mix changes the themes all that dramatically.
Yeah. And as far as the other Muppet movie we've covered, the Great Muppet
Caper is just goofs.
Thematically light, I would say.
Mostly probably just, the unrequited love between Charles Grodin and the anthropomorphic pig.
Right. It's a movie about wanting to fuck this pig. There's not enough human guys wanting to fuck Miss Piggy in this movie. That's
true.
That's one of my only gripes about this movie, is it is always really funny when a human guy is really horny for Miss Piggy. And that does not happen in this movie.
I forget, is this in the Great Muppet Caper? Gonzo and that chicken?
Yes, that is...
Gonzo's fucking a chicken?
Yes. Yes. Gonzo is in a committed monogamous relationship with Camilla the chicken. That is a holdover from The Muppet Show. On The Muppet Show, Gonzo and Camilla are an item. So, yes. He does have a chicken girlfriend.
And she doesn't talk.
No, she makes chicken sounds.
Okay.
She goes, bark, bark.
Okay.
Although at one point, when he buys her all those balloons, she does go, gaga, gaga, which I think is really funny, because is it Richard Pryor who has the balloons?
Yeah, Richard Pryor's the balloon man.
Yeah. So when Richard Pryor sells him all the balloons, he's like, yeah, the ladies go, get her both. The ladies go gaga for it. And he's like, oh, really? Then I'll take all of them. And the chicken starts going, gaga, gaga, which is really funny.
But anyway, Great Muppet Caper is just goofs and antics. I was sort of expecting this movie to have a little bit more of a traditional kind of accessible storyline, which it does. But I wasn't expecting it to be more thematically rich.
Right.
Which is about, it's the pursuing your passion, pursuing art, and pursuing art in the face of predatory capitalism.
Yes, and not sacrificing your principles as a creative person,
which I feel is particularly relevant today.
Yeah, you think?
Because you and I often kind of commiserate about horrible, migraine-inducing ads that we get from watching streaming or, watching YouTube or something. I've been getting booking.com ads that inexplicably have Miss Piggy in them.
Yes.
And I'm like...
Because the Muppets are owned by Disney.
I'm like, Disney is sitting on... fucking Warner Brothers does this too. Warner Brothers is not exempt from this. Warner Brothers with the Looney Tunes. They are sitting on gold. They are sitting on some of the most... pure, beloved, and also easily accessible and marketable children's properties in the history of modern cinema, and they are doing dick all with them.
Right.
They are selling out the Muppets for a fucking advertisement for a fucking vacation booking website.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
Yes, I completely agree.
So it was very cathartic for me to watch a movie that is seemingly comes solely from the hearts of Jim Henson, Frank Oz, and their collaborators, and also somehow deals with the cynicism and the greed that comes along with creating a beloved children's property.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, these guys had already had the success of Sesame Street under their belts by the time they're working on this movie, right? And so, the place that they're writing from is a place of like, they've had people approaching them and offering them shit that they didn't want to do, I'm sure, which is like what the whole Doc Hopper thing is, right? Because it's like Doc Hopper basically is like, hey, you have talent, like I can see that you have a hook, right? And he's like, I will give you however much money you want to sell your soul completely, and like shill for this product that is obviously against everything you believe in, right? Because in the movie he's selling frog legs, like. Which I love. I love that as a metaphor. I love it as a metaphor that it's like this guy who owns a restaurant chain that sells frog legs is looking for a frog spokesman.
Yeah, it's not that he wants to cut off Kermit's legs and grill him up.
No, he wants him to advertise for him. And it feels so much like that is like coming from like such a real and such a like genuinely like angry place for like the Muppet Crew guys. And that this is based on real experiences that they were having, where people were definitely coming to them and being like, hey, we want to use Big Bird in our whatever ad, right? And they were like, fuck you. Like, this movie does, in its own kind of family-friendly, wholesome way, feel like a big fuck you to certain... to the way that certain capitalistic machines try to manipulate creative people,
Yeah.
It feels like a really big middle finger in the most like, in the nicest way. You know?
And I don't know. Do you know what because the Muppets had a stint on Saturday Night Live for a little while.
Yeah.
Is Doc Hopper inspired by like any fallout over that?
I don't know.
I
don't know. Yeah. A lot of the like deeper like lore behind that stuff I'm pretty ignorant of. I'm like more well versed in like the Muppets the properties themselves as opposed to like anything that was happening behind the scenes. But But yeah, I don't know. It just feels clear that this is informed by like real world experiences that they had,
Yeah.
And the frustration feels very like palpable and lived, Yeah.
Right. There's something about, Jim Henson writing this dialogue for Kermit and then performing and voicing Kermit, saying these things to the Doc Hopper character.
Yeah.
Love the Doc Hopper bits.
Yes.
Such a fun performance.
Yes. Charles Durning as Doc Hopper. Welcome back to the show, by the way, Charles Durning. He is also the dad in Tootsie who falls in love with Dustin Hoffman in a dress. So great to see him again. But yeah, Charles Durning as Doc Hopper, and then fucking I gotta shout out the guy who plays his like his like lackey, his main lackey, Max, Austin Pendleton, who is great in this. He's hilarious. I love the bit between the two of them where Max like stands up for himself the first time, and he's like, like, I'm taking a moral stand. Like, you're not going to change my mind on this. What you're asking him to do is wrong. And then Doc Hopper's like, I'll double your percentage. And he's like, I'll open the door. And he opens the car door for him. But yeah, I think all the Hopper stuff is great. I like that, like, the escalation is very funny too. This feels like Muppet Show shit, where it's like, initially he's like, I'll pay you anything you want to be my spokesman, and then by the end of the movie we are like hiring a frog killing a guy.
I just want this fucking frog dead.
I love the introduction of the frog killer Snake.
Yeah. Because
he looks insane. He's wearing like the black like hood thing. It's like a balaclava without the part that covers your mouth, right? And then like the huge like black wide brimmed hat, and he has like he has fucking bullet bandoliers and shit. He's like, tell him what you do, Snake. Kill frogs.
This is his harpoon gun.
It's so funny. I love it. I love the shot of him later when Doc Hopper's on the phone to Kermit, like giving him the ultimatum, and in the background, Snake is, or in the foreground, I think Snake is sharpening his trident harpoon. Yeah,
I really like the Doc Hopper commercial.
Oh,
with him in
yeah.
the costume and the girls.
Yes, I like that he sucks so bad.
It's so funny.
You get why he needs Kermit.
Yeah.
It's like, this shit ain't selling any frog legs. I'm watching this commercial and I'm turning the TV off. He like can't even stay on beat with the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of talk of frog legs in this movie. When he goes to the El Sleazo Cafe, when Kermit first goes to the El Sleazo Cafe, everybody's eating frog legs there too. There's like frog
leg stroganoff is one.
Yeah.
I don't
frog
remember what
legs
else.
confit or whatever. Yeah. I don't know where Kermit's from, but it seems like frog leg is a delicacy there.
Well, he's in the South.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because
He's a little swamp because he's a frog.
Yeah. That's. You know
he
what?
lives in the swamp with the alligator.
Arnie the alligator. I love that's
alligator.
Read my lips, alligators. I love that's a real alligator and not a puppet. That is so funny to me.
Oh, I thought it was one shot. It looks real, but there was another shot that it looks like a puppet.
I think that there is. Yeah, I think that there's a shot, but
it's not a Muppet.
It's
alligator,
not a Muppet.
Is
Even
what
when
you
it's
mean.
even when it is maybe a puppet, it is a realistic puppet.
Yes.
I like that it's not a Muppet alligator. It's just like this is a real alligator.
Yeah.
I think in one of the shots it is just straight up a real alligator though.
Yeah, I
like
think
when
the
it
first shot. Just Dom DeLuise and a puppet in a lake with an alligator.
I love the Dom DeLuise cameo in this movie too.
It's so like
It's
I
so
was
funny.
not alive in the 70s,
Yeah.
but I can't imagine the children were like, "Oh boy, Dom DeLuise."
No, it's for the grown-ups.
or Madeline Kahn or Teddy Savalas.
Yes.
And then it's not until later in the movie where it's like, okay, Richard Pryor, I think, he's sort of like George Carlin, where like they're both kind of controversial, raunchy stand-up comedians, but they also sort of have this like family-friendly, cutesy side to them. It's like Richard Pryor makes sense. Steve Martin makes sense.
Yes.
We get the big ones later in the movie.
Yes.
But before that, it's like Elliot Gould.
Right.
I'm like, none of these kids know who these people are.
Yeah, but they all do such... This movie has some of the best cameos of all time, I think. There is the real all-timer is Orson Welles. That cameo fucking whips so much ass.
Oh, what is it? What's your favorite? Is it Orson Welles?
Okay. My actual favorite, I love Orson Welles in this movie. My favorite cameo.
I'm glad that Orson Welles gets one line.
Yes.
That's really good.
It's so funny that the reveal that it is Orson Welles. Did you know it was going to be Orson Welles?
I think I had... I think I knew that.
Okay, because the reveal that it is Orson Welles is so funny. Because the chair turns around and he is there looking as fat as he ever was, with a big cigar. Yeah. No, yeah, it is Paul Masson commercial era. Orson Welles. He doesn't say anything. Yeah, they could only give him one line because that's all he could memorize.
Yeah.
he
delivers the fuck out of that line though.
Well, I was supposed to say this line to this frog. Where's my? Make sure there's more wine in my trailer when I go back there. I drank all the wine in my trailer. I'm gonna need more wine. Which frog am I looking at?
Kermit the Frog is a traitor.
God, I love that man.
Sold out his... I don't remember that much of that speech other than just Ilya Kazan is a traitor.
Yeah. I mean, being called a traitor by Orson Welles is it'll stick with me. No, my favorite cameo in the movie is Mel Brooks.
Okay, good.
It's so that scene is so fucking funny. This time watching it, because I watched this movie a lot as a kid. I have not seen the Muppet Movie in probably like around a decade. So it has been a long time for me, long break. And I don't think I have ever found this scene as funny as I did watching it last night in advance of this episode. I was like, oh, this is maybe the funniest scene in any Muppet thing.
It is so good.
It's wild.
It is incredible that fucking Mel Brooks walks into this movie is like, I'm going to be Joseph Mengele in this Muppet movie.
Yes.
Yes. With a big goofy sci-fi torture machine.
Yes, he is so. Oh man, when they bring out the torture, what's it called? He says it's a cerebrectomy. Cerebrectomy. When they bring out the cerebrectomy machine and he starts like tonguing one of the buttons.
Yeah. Off the fucking chain.
He's just like just fucking licking this thing. I was like, man, God bless Mel
That
Brooks.
is maybe my favorite Mel Brooks cameo in anything,
Yes.
including his own films.
I agree. I think this is the funniest thing Mel Brooks maybe has ever done.
It's
this cameo in this
man, the governor. Oh man, the governor in Blazing Saddles though.
Yeah.
The scene with the ping pong paddles is my favorite scene in the whole movie. But this is up there. Yeah.
Man, it turns the brains into guacamole. when he
puts this
describes
little yarmulke on
the electronic yarmulke, I was like, my jaw was on the floor when he delivered that line. I was like, I totally forgot that he's calling this thing that's gonna scramble Kermit's brain an electronic yarmulke. And I'm like, first of all, thank God it's Mel Brooks doing this, because he's allowed.
I think he's the only person that's allowed.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know this before. But I guess he was like entertaining the troops during the war. When he was obviously a younger man. And he has a story in some interview where he was like doing comedy for the Americans in the trenches or whatever. And there was like a yell from the German trench for him to keep going because they were listening to his comedy and they liked it too. Which is like such a wild story that it's like, yeah, like he like was like in the shit with these guys and like the Germans were like, that guy's fucking funny.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's crazy. You should look up the story. It's wild.
Cool.
Yeah.
I did not know Mel Brooks was in this movie.
Yeah.
He fucking walks on the screen and my jaw hit the floor. Dom DeLuise and Madeline Kahn obviously collaborated him with a bunch. So I'm like, why are there Mel Brooks actors in this movie? Mm-hmm. And then Steve Martin is like, okay, that makes sense. Steve Martin's great. Steve Martin was my favorite cameo up until that point.
Yeah.
Would you like to smell the bottle cap?
Steve Martin also is just like hilarious in this movie because he is inexplicably the world's surliest bitch. And the tiny shorts are also really funny.
Yes.
Where he's wearing like the maitre d' jacket, but then he's also wearing the little shorts. Him drinking the wine and spitting it out. Excellent choice. Yeah.
I think he might be the one person in the movie that is aware that he's in a Muppet movie.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's like, why am I serving these fucking puppets?
He's like, God damn it, this fucking pig and frog showing up in my restaurant.
We went through a whole war with these fuckers, and now they get to walk into my restaurant like nothing happened.
There was a human Muppet war.
Yeah, we talked about this during Great Muppet Caper.
You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, because I think they the Brian Henson movies take place in a time where they lived in harmony.
Yes.
And now
they're
second-class citizens.
Right, there was the Great Muppet Human War.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, which is why, in the Great Muppet Caper, that's why they get dropped out of an airplane instead of getting normal human service.
I expected Orson Welles to have like a villainous turn in this movie, or like have a kind of a downer ending where it's like, well, you know, we didn't kind of as a part of the commentary on capitalism and your art being commodified and commercialized. Like, well, we didn't get the big deal, but we made it here anyway, and we made along the way kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was expecting to be like, a frog?
But I like that instead of that...
Fucking frog?
You're
serious?
I like that instead of that, they show up in his office and he's like, I like you guys. He's just basically like, yeah, give them whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
I like your gumption or whatever. Yeah. Him just being like, look at these little freaks.
Thank God it wasn't Harvey Weinstein's office that they wandered into.
No, yeah. Instead, it's Lou Lord, which I think is a really funny fake producer name. Especially when his secretary is calling him Mr. Lord. It's just very funny to me. Yeah, no, all the cameos are great. Mel Brooks is the best. Yeah. His brain gets scrambled by the electronic.
Clearly the best. Also, it's like
Ribbit.
kind of dark.
Yeah,
It's like,
he's a Nazi. Like, the Joseph
it's like,
Mengele thing is, that's the correct thing to compare this to.
It's surprisingly dark and also extremely funny.
Yeah, yeah. And like so many of his lines are hilarious and his deliveries are great. You think we are sleeping in Dusseldorf? You think we are taking a nap in Cologne? No, we are working at night. Yeah.
and then at that point, like, Doc Hopper suddenly gets a bunch of goons with guns.
Yes.
Now we're hunting down and killing Kermit.
Everybody has shotguns. I like when Kermit walks out of the restaurant and there's like 10 shotgun barrels in his face and he's like, oh, are you the guys that Doc Hopper sent to get me?
I like the target shooting scene with Max. I love Max. Max is so funny.
Yes.
Max crouching behind the scenery holding up a wooden Kermit on a stick.
Yeah, that they're all shooting at. Yeah. Yes, I love Doc Hopper's posse of toughs. I love Miss Piggy defeating them with karate. That scene's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another reason why this is, part of my Muppet War canon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're hunting and killing Muppets in this movie.
Yes.
Also, like, the fucking dickhead in the El Sleazo who just chucks Kermit into a ceiling fan.
seeing this Kermit just
what the
ragdoll
hell, man?
on the ceiling fan is really funny.
That's my friend Kermit.
Yeah. Yes, Fozzie and Kermit do sort of get hate crimed at the El Sleazo.
Yeah, man.
The way that they are tossing the just totally inert Fozzie puppet that is not being operated by a puppeteer, the way they're just throwing this thing around is so funny. And then there's just like Frank Oz like 80 yard over it being like, wow, what you doing? Whoa. And it's just a stuffed bear that they're just like throwing back and forth. Yeah. The El Sleazo scene too has one of my favorite like setup jokes, which is the guy getting thrown out of the bar onto the street.
Yeah, James Coburn, another why is this a cameo?
Yes, as Kermit's about to go in, James Coburn gets thrown out, and Kermit's like, tough place or whatever, and he's like, and James Coburn's like, that is the toughest, meanest, filthiest, grimiest whatever place in the whole country. And Kermit's like, well, why don't you talk to the owner? And he puts his hat on and goes, I am the owner. Walks away. Well, it's a really funny gag.
Yeah, we got Paul Williams who did the music.
Yeah.
Is the piano player.
Yeah. I love his sign that says "Don't shoot the piano player."
Yep. I think James Frawley's one of the patrons who's eating the frog dishes, and I thought maybe I saw Jim Henson in here, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, he's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah.
This is also where we have the Madeline Kahn cameo here, and we get the first myth. It's a myth. And then Carol Kane pops up and is like, "Yes."
I don't know that I got that joke. I mean, I know Carol. I mean, it was Carol Kane, but I didn't know that I understood what.
I don't think there's really anything to that joke other than that myth sounds like miss with a lisp. And then Carol Kane goes, "Yes."
I'm an idiot.
I think that's all it is. It's a myth. And then she pops up and goes, "Yes." Which I think it's like, it's a stupid joke, but I think it's really funny. And I like later when she just pops out from behind the billboard. She's just suddenly there again. Yeah. Speaking of running gags in this movie, there are a few, and one of them that I wanted to call out as, much like how the Mel Brooks scene has never been funnier to me until like before this watch, the Hare Krishna joke played the funniest for me that it ever has this time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the rule of 3 on that is so perfectly executed that I think it should be like studied.
They hit all 3 of those really early.
Yes.
I was expecting another Hare Krishna joke
Yeah,
at the end, but if it's later in the movie, I don't remember.
No, they don't.
The last one that I remember is the sign at the church.
Yes, and they don't do it again after that, which I think is actually one of the things that makes it good. Is it's an exclusively first act running gag. Like they do it, they hit all 3 in the first act, and then they just never touch it again. And it really, really sent me last night because the first one is funny with Dom DeLuise, where Dom DeLuise is like, I seem to have lost my sense of direction. And Kermit says, have you tried Hare Krishna? and then the second one is in the El Sleazo when Kermit's like, Fozzie's bombing. And he's like, oh, this guy's lost. And another guy does it and goes, I wonder if he should try Hare Krishna. And then the sign outside the church, I was just like, God damn it, this is genius. Like, this is like one of the best executed jokes I feel like I've ever seen. And I don't think I appreciated it. I didn't appreciate it at all as a kid. But even the last time I watched this movie as an adult, 10 years ago or however long, I feel like it still was not landing for me the way it should have. And last night I was like, finally, I feel like I am giving this the credit it deserves.
Yeah. I mean,
Have you lost? Have you tried Reverend Hare Krishna?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It is not entirely surprising that Mel Brooks is in this movie to me, because this, more than the others that I've seen, feels more rooted in its era of like Mel Brooks comedy.
Yeah.
And also Zucker Brothers comedy, because there's a lot of the jokes and the puns and the fork in the road that all feels like, or have you tried Hare Krishna?
Right.
That all feels like jokes from Airplane or something.
Right,
like
right. Or like it's like the fork in the road joke is almost exactly the combing the desert joke
right.
from Spaceballs. Like it's almost the exact same joke.
The first time I saw Spaceballs was on TV, so the joke ends with them cutting to the guys with the really small comb.
Yes.
But it just ends there. It doesn't go to the close up.
Oh.
And then when I finally watched it, it was the guy going, "We ain't found shit." And I don't know which is funnier, honestly.
I love We Ain't Found
It's
Shit.
really good.
I feel
but
like
it was also funny to be like, the 2 other guys with the big combs are like, nothing yet, sir. And then the guys with the really small comb at the end.
Yes. Well, it's an Afro pick.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah.
Oh, you like it because it's racist, Justus.
No. I don't like it because it's racist. I like We Ain't Found Shit paired with the Afro pick. Look.
Yeah. But the comedy stylings in this film seem a little bit more closely aligned with some of those other 70s comedies than the stuff in Great Muppet Caper and certainly Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that.
No, yeah, I think you're totally dead on. I feel like the comedy really feels like of its time in a way that is good, because it's like some of those contemporaries who you mentioned, like those are comedies that have held up extremely well. So I feel like kind of using the same playbook is like working in this movie's favor. And I feel like a lot of the jokes, like I found The Great Muppet Caper to be extremely funny, but I do think that like some of the jokes in this movie are a little bit like smarter than some of the ones in Great Muppet Caper.
Yeah,
Great Muppet Caper feels like a lot of the time it's like a joke a minute,
right?
But a lot of them are low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's a lot of, as far as I remember, it's a lot of jokes, a lot of antics, a lot of general chaos.
Yeah.
Whereas this like kind of very strategically spaces out the jokes.
Yes, yeah, and some of them just like land like so well.
Yeah,
I feel like the I was probably laughing more frequently watching Great Muppet Caper, but I was laughing harder watching this movie. Like, when it got me really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It brings me to another thing, which is Great Muppet Caper's kind of chaotic and all over the place, and it's a lot of little vignettes and scenes and stuff, but it doesn't have a strong through line. And I think this movie really benefits from sticking to established formula, established tropes, and then putting its own spin on it.
Yes. And the road movie aspect of this movie enables the vignettes so well.
It makes total sense for them to do this for the first Muppet movie.
Yes, and and so you do have the little vignettes where like there's a cameo moment, or like we're visiting a location for like one scene and then moving on and stuff. And it's like, in the Great Muppet Caper, the stuff like that doesn't feel as natural, but in this movie it's like, because we're using the road movie format, it just feels so like built in to the structure of the movie. And like there's so many little moments that work because it's a road movie too. Like the Big Bird one is so funny. where Big Bird is walking on the side of the road.
Big Bird's very good.
Yeah.
It's a really
and
good
that's
one.
like a really good bit. And it's like, it's very intelligent filmmaking, where it's like, because the movie is them driving a car across the country, like we're just building gags into that, you know?
Yeah, and the way that they're picking up Muppets along the way.
Yes, yeah.
That are all, they're all well known at this point if you've seen the Muppet Show. But it's fun to see, it's the possibly true story of how the Muppets met, you know? But it's fun to see, like, okay, well, where did Miss Piggy come from?
Yeah.
Where did Gonzo come from?
Yes. Yeah. The Gonzo one is really funny, because when I like that the car just flips over and lands on top of it. Yes.
It's just on top of this. And then it's like, wow, that's like a fucking...
Yes!
They built a fucking Mad Max car over here.
Yes. The craftsmanship behind that gag is really impressive.
Dude, and, oh God, one of the other things. So many of the scenes of them driving, like the... Not the close-ups. I mean, like, the wide shots where you see the car coming down the road and the two puppets in the car. And then you see their mouths moving with the dialogue.
Yes.
It's not like those are static puppets that aren't that they're ADRing over later.
No, they are puppeteering puppets that are sitting in the front seat of a moving vehicle.
Yes.
And moving their mouths to the dialogue. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There is so much of this movie. That's one example. There were a couple other things that stuck out to me where I'm like, how the fuck did they do this still? And this is a movie from 1979, and this is a thing we've talked about in the other two Muppet movies that we've covered. All of the Muppet movies have these moments where you're like, and less now, right? Less basically Muppets from Space onward, because CGI and stuff got good enough that sometimes it's like augmented with that. Like sometimes we're doing digital trickery, but this is like too early for them to be doing that shit. So this is all practical tricks that we're pulling here. And like, one of them is obviously Kermit on the bicycle. They do obviously the tandem bike thing in Great Muppet Caper, so they do it like bigger and better in that one. But seeing them do it for the first time in this movie is still so magical. Like, and they're like, it holds on Kermit riding the bike into town in the scene before like his Schwinn gets flattened by the steamroller, right? Like, you see him ride in like onto a set, and it is totally not visible how they're making it work.
So I got a DVD from the library.
Mm-hmm.
You see the wires kind of just because of the lighting and the way things are reflected. You see the wires for a little bit at the very beginning when it's a much closer shot.
Yeah.
But then the camera pulls back and it's this little frog riding in front of this huge set of the Doc Hopper frog legs construction site.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so how big is this rig that they're using to puppeteer Kermit with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not in frame and he's so tiny.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like that's one of them. Another one of them, and this one that I'm about to mention, it's like way more obvious how they did it, but it is still so magical to see, which is when they're at the restaurant with the fucking asshole Steve Martin waiter, and he like pours the champagne for them and then puts the straws in the glasses. They like Kermit's basically like, cheers, and then they both drink out of their straws. And Kermit takes a little sip, and Miss Piggy drains her whole glass. And you see the liquid in her glass go, like there is something inside the Miss Piggy puppet that is sucking the liquid out of the glass through the straw. And it is just like the smallest little detail that like the liquid actually goes away when she drinks it that just makes makes her a real character. Like, she's not a puppet. That's just Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
And she's just an actress in this movie.
And even the stuff that is, maybe hasn't held up so well, like visually, like Fozzie and Kermit dancing on stage together.
Yeah, even that stuff I think looks pretty good.
Right. It still looks pretty good. And it's for the 70s, it's kind of amazing to see the live action elements of the set and the extras at the bar blending with Kermit as a puppet, and then possibly someone in costume as Fozzie.
Yeah, it might be a person in a Fozzie suit, or it might be a full body puppet. I'm not sure.
Because there were some like full body suits in Great Muppet Caper that kind of size wise didn't quite look like they matched up. And they stuck out a little bit, like Miss Piggy on the motorcycle. Like, you're going to put a stunt guy in a slightly oversized Miss Piggy suit and have him jump through a window on a bike. That makes sense. But there's stuff here where I also think that maybe the puppets are someone in costume, but proportion-wise, they feel a lot... Like, when Fozzie's driving and stuff, too, like, it feels a lot more a lot closer to the actual the puppet that we see in the close-ups. So that scene, just blending all those elements and it looking as good as it does, even though it's still aged and dated a little bit, was really impressive.
Yeah.
And then of course it's not the final shot of the movie, but all of the Muppets together on set. And there's, dozens. I think there's like 140 Muppets in that final shot.
Yeah.
Before we go back, and the movie theater stuff too, like, and the movie theater set is great too.
Yeah.
But and the movie theater stuff is really fun.
Yeah,
it is so
yeah.
It is so such a well-worn trope at this point for them to be like, for a children's property to be like, we're going to start the movie with the characters in the movie recognizing that they're making a movie.
Yeah.
The meta element of it.
And I feel like maybe this is like one of the first times
it must have
that ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. The meta thing in this movie is so funny. And like, not just them in the movie theater and then like, the film getting fucked up and the Swedish chef having to fix the reels and stuff. Like, all that stuff is great. But also the meta stuff in the movie within the movie, like when they give Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem the screenplay to read to catch them up, like, that gag is so funny. And then it comes back. It's the Deus Ex Machina that saves the day at the end, is that they still have the screenplay, so they know to pick them up in the desert. It's so good. I feel like the meta stuff in comedies a lot of the time doesn't work for me, and the Muppets are like the exception to that. Like, I love when like Kermit like turns and like fully just like down the barrel delivers something straight to the audience in this movie. I always think those moments are like very fun,
Yeah, they're like planned out well, like the other jokes in this movie.
Yeah.
They're spaced out pretty well. They don't overstay their welcome. I did feel like the first Dr. Teeth joke, when Dr. Teeth screenplay joke, that was a little much for me, but I think it coming back at the end of the movie made it work.
I like the first one. I especially like when he catches up and gets to the church and we see the same shot of Fozzie and Kermit sticking their heads in, and instead of Fozzie saying the line, Dr. Teeth goes, "They don't look like Presbyterians to me."
Yeah. Lots of Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem in this movie.
Yeah, that's one of the things that rocks about this fucking
so
movie,
much
dude.
animal.
Oh yeah,
like this is Animals movie.
Yeah, a thing that was sort of starting to not trouble me, but just something that was on my mind throughout this movie. I had never really thought about Animal this deep before, and maybe that's for the best. Like, maybe I shouldn't. But he is, like, on a chain that is, like, sometimes, like, bolted to the wall, or sometimes, like, Floyd Pepper is holding. And I'm like, so is Animal more like a dog? Like, is he, like, more like a pet compared to the other Muppets? Or is this something problematic that I don't want to think about? Or is this like a BDSM thing?
You know, when he's like, I'm going to go walk Animal, I'm like,
Yeah. He's wearing that spiky collar, and I'm like, so, like, either it's like something like, you know, it's either territory that I don't really want to touch, don't really want to think about with the Muppets, or, yeah, he is more like a dog, or he's getting off on this. he just likes, you know, being on a chain and shit. Woman!
God, I feel like you were kind of horny for Miss Piggy in the last episode.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, people are known to be.
Can I give you my hear me out?
Yeah.
That didn't click for me until this movie.
Yep.
Janice.
Yes, from Dr. Teeth and the Electric
Janice
Mayhem.
can fucking get it.
You're so right for that.
Those legs.
You know what's a thing that I maybe didn't fully internalize until this watch is that Floyd Pepper and Janice are apparently canonically an item.
Oh, okay.
Because Floyd Pepper says in this movie he calls her like my woman or my girl or something at one point. And I was like, I don't know if I ever clocked that before. So I guess Floyd Pepper is like, you know, he's like got that locked down, you know. He's like,
man, it's
hot
like
bass player.
It's like
or no, Floyd plays the bass. She plays the guitar.
Yeah, she plays guitar.
Yeah.
It's like going to be Fleetwood Mac up in there with like all these band members fucking each
they're
other.
They're gonna be writing their rumors.
Yeah.
About how like they all like fucked, cheated on each other with each other and shit. Yeah. Right, Floyd Pepper singing the line about you know, shacking up with a bunch of dudes about Janice or whatever.
Yeah, Janice and Floyd Pepper staring down each other as they play.
You can
during a
go
concert.
your own way.
God, that video is insane.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Janice can get it.
Is there a Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem album?
I don't know. I feel like there should be if there isn't. They usually have like one song per Muppet movie in general, but I feel like just doing the songs from the movies on an album would be a cop-out. I want to hear some like shit that's not in the movies.
Yeah, we need some originals for sure.
Although, you know, I can't imagine that many of them will outshine Can You Picture That from this movie, which fucking, again, whips so hard. Thing about the Floyd Pepper puppet that I also really hadn't I hadn't stewed on it very much until this watch. It is weird that he doesn't have eyeballs. All the other Muppets have like.
Well, Janice doesn't have eyeballs. She's just like has like her eyes are closed. She's squinting or something.
But Floyd Pepper has like empty eye sockets that like express as if they are his eyes. But there's no eyes in them.
Bunsen Honeydew just
That's
has
true. He
glasses.
just has glasses.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. For some reason, it wasn't bothering me on Bunsen Honeydew, but Floyd Pepper, I was a little bit like, so what's the deal? Like, are those his eyes, or does he just like in the world of the Muppets? Does he have just empty eye sockets?
Yeah. Was not expecting that third act. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker reveal.
Yeah. The barrel. You know, like activates and starts spinning around. It's almost a jump scare because you are so not expecting it. And then Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker just pop out of this like these saloon doors in this fucking ghost town. Yeah. Thank God they do though, because my main man Beaker had to show up in this movie.
Yeah, I almost forgot that I hadn't heard a me for 85 minutes.
The funniest Beaker delivery of all time is in this movie, which is when they're talking about the grow pills, and Bunsen Honeydew is like, but the effect is sadly temporary, and Beaker goes me.
I feel like there's got to be a dick joke in there somewhere.
There is.
There's someone says something.
Floyd Pepper says, "What else do they make big?"
Right.
Because he's trying to dick down Janice, better than ever, I guess. He's like,
He's
yeah,
got his Muppet-sized dick.
Yeah. He's like, my age is, starting to show. I gotta get some male enhancement going on to keep my woman happy. Otherwise, she's gonna run off with somebody else. She's such a catch.
Yeah. Run off with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that animal takes all the Instagrow pills and turns into a kaiju animal.
And they build a giant fucking animal head that comes out of the building.
It rocks so.
It's
that
so
effect,
good.
That effect is still so amazing, and they show it like from all the different angles. And in like some angles, it's a model, and in other ones, it's just It seems to just be a giant animal in a building. Yeah. It rules.
He saves the fucking day, man.
He does.
Great movie for Animal.
And he's like, pull on my chain. It's the only way I can come.
Bondage.
What's his safe word?
Yeah. Not sure. But he'll yell it repeatedly.
Yeah, he will. He certainly will.
Yeah.
Beaker's your main man.
Yeah. I love that guy.
So I think we've talked about this. I think you are most like Fozzie Bear, Beaker, and there was one other one that I was thinking of. I guess Kermit.
Yeah.
Does that feel accurate?
That feels right. I feel
you?
like Fozzie. So I called Beaker my main man. My favorite Muppet, we've established this in past episodes, is in fact Fozzie Bear. I love Beaker, but Fozzie is my favorite Muppet, and sort of the one I feel the most kinship to as well, because he is like he sort of like sucks at being an entertainer, but it is his passion.
You're a good entertainer.
Thank you. But I feel a lot of kinship with Fozzie, because my favorite is when he's bombing on stage.
Yeah.
And one of the things he says is, "I'm trying really hard." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I know." It's hard. It's rough out there. Yeah. I feel like you are a little bit like one of the members of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. Like, you do have a little bit like Floyd Pepper energy. You have a little bit Dr. Teeth energy.
Yeah, I accept that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't sure what one I was like. It's like maybe I'm a little bit gonzo.
You are a little bit gonzo too.
Yeah.
We should all be a little bit gonzo.
Yeah.
He really is the soul of the Muppets, and that shows in this movie big time. I feel like, where it's like, anytime like shit's going sideways and like Kermit is stressed out, we check in with Gonzo, and he's just like seeing the silver lining. Like when he floats away on the balloons, he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And they're getting chased by Doc Hopper. He's got his shotgun out the window and whatever.
He gets a lovely song about it in the middle, towards the end of the movie.
Yes. His song in Joshua Tree is like, that is one of the moments of this movie where it transcends for me from being like, oh, this is like a movie from my childhood that means a lot to me, and it's like a great movie full of funny jokes that I like and stuff. And it turns into, I'm like, oh, I think this is legitimately actually sort of one of the great pieces of art that cinema has produced, is Gonzo's song, I'm Gonna Get Back There Someday, which he sings when they're in Joshua Tree, because the lyrics of that song, when you're like hearing what he's singing, it's like it's partially about him flying like he did earlier in the movie, but it's also like broader and like more profound than that.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about finding a feeling of belonging, right? And it fits into the theme of the movie about like pursuing things that you're passionate about. It doesn't necessarily need to be creative. It's just like, find a thing that you love doing and do it, right? And so like part of the song is about that, but it's also about, finding meaning in other people. There's the line about like, good friends we just met or whatever. And like, yeah, he says like, there's a line where he is talking about like the soul. He says, close to my soul and yet so far away. I'm going to get back there someday. And there's a lot of talk of like there's a lot of like singing about the soul in this movie. The romance song that Miss Piggy sings when she falls in love with Kermit at first sight. There's also a lot of like really profound lyrical imagery in that song too, which is so funny because Frank Oz is singing it in such a funny way. But then you listen to the lyrics and it's like actually like really deep and poetic, you know?
Well, and the song that Kermit does with the dog. What's the dog? Rolf. Yeah.
You can't live with him.
You can't live
without him.
You can't live with women. You can't live without him.
Yeah.
When they start that, I was like, oh boy, we're about to get a misogynist song in a Muppet movie.
Yeah.
But then it's still fun and funny and light, but it kind of hits on like Kermit's sadness and his conflicting feelings about Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
In a pretty serious way.
Yeah.
Or a more serious way than I would have expected.
Yes. I do think that song and that scene is maybe like the thing that has potentially aged the worst in this movie, but it like is so far from being problematic or bad still that it's like it's fine. Because I think you're right. I think it's less about like, oh, women, and more like, hey, like I feel really betrayed and sad.
Yeah.
Because like I was on a date with this woman and she just like got up and walked out of the restaurant and left me alone. Like she's like stood me up for hours, you know? And he's like very like vulnerable and hurt and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, like the to go back to the Joshua Tree song with Gonzo, it like that moment of this movie, I'm like, there is something so special about the Muppets and about I feel like the role that Gonzo kind of plays in this movie is a dimension to the Muppets that has always been super important for any of the best Muppet stuff, which is like it's silly and it's chaotic and slapstick and goofy, and at the same time there is like a streak of like profundity and like melancholy and contemplativeness that is like inexorable from the best Muppet things. Like you have to, when you're watching the best Muppet stuff, it should make you a little sad. Like there should be like a feeling of like longing and like yearning for something that like yearning for a happiness that you haven't fully realized, you know, I feel like is like part of it. With all of like the best Muppet stuff. Like I feel like that's also present in Christmas Carol. Mm-hmm. It's present in the show at times where like they'll do like silly like skits and gags and stuff on the show, but then sometimes like Robin the Frog will just come out and sing like a really heartfelt little number on the Muppet Show, and it'll just be a puppeteer, you know, puppeteering a one of the characters very beautifully while a very sincere piece of music happens. You know?
I'm not obviously as familiar with this stuff as you are, but like the sentimentality and the emotional heart of the Muppets was something that was kind of missing from Great Muppet Caper. Mm-hmm. And in Christmas Carol, it seems more, you know, informed by the Dickens text. Yeah. And also just kind of the Disneyness of everything that's going on. Right. But here it feels, you know, and it's great in Christmas Carol. I love it in Christmas Carol. Here it feels more genuine and straight from Jim Henson. And it is maybe like kind of some of the stuff with Sesame Street, where it is like treating kids as three-dimensional human beings with a personality mm-hmm. and a capacity to understand their emotions. So like, yeah, like trusting that kids can get on board with Gonzo or Kermit singing a song that's kind of a little sad for a while.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of exploring the spectrum of life's ups and downs.
Yeah.
In a way that feels honest
mm-hmm.
to children and doesn't feel at all commodified or cheapened.
Yeah.
People are always talking about like it's just a kids movie with the fucking Super Mario Brothers movies or whatever. I haven't seen them. I can't really criticize them, but I've a lot of they get a lot of hate from critics and people like, well, it's just a kids movie. Well, it's like, well, there are kids movies that understand that kids are people too,
right?
And that you don't just like jangle keys in front of them and entertain them.
Yeah, and we've like covered some stuff on this show where it's like, yeah, you can have a kids movie that explores complex themes and shows like the sort of like depth that we all contain, including children, you know, like the Iron Giant and Rango and stuff that we've covered on this show before, where it's like, yeah, it being a kid's property is not an excuse for it to be shallow. You know, like kids are capable of like feeling, you know, complex stuff, and we shouldn't like shy away from that. Yeah.
And I think I wasn't expecting, I mean, I should have, but I wasn't expecting this movie to present that in such a deep and profound way.
Yeah.
Beyond just like what I had expected from the stuff in Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
It made me kind of realize how important the Muppets are.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about how I've seen them, you know, treated in recent years, you know, the fucking Disney selling them out to ad agencies and stuff, and, you know, not really having their own property. It's the same way I feel about like stuff like Calvin and Hobbes.
Right.
Where like Calvin and Hobbes is this pure, uncynical, unadulterated thing, and it should always remain that. And I kind of feel that way about the Muppets too.
Yeah. Yep.
Now that I've seen this movie and had some time to think about it.
Yeah.
What else?
One thing that I did want to bring up is we were talking about how they sort of like are picking up other Muppets along the way because this is a road movie. A thing that I think is, first of all, so funny, and then it's also like one of the big set pieces in the movie is them picking up Miss Piggy. I think it's so funny that every time they interact with any other Muppet for the whole movie, Kermit is like, we're going to Hollywood, do you want to come with us? Like, you can get in the car, right? Miss Piggy is the only one where he's like, do you want to meet up for ice cream? She thinks that he's saying, do you want to like come to Hollywood with us? She like packs her bags, and then he's like, whoa, I didn't say you could come with us. And it's like, you invited Rolf the dog along.
They're both into each other too.
Yes, right. And I think that's I think Kermit the Frog maybe has attachment issues.
Yeah,
because
probably.
he does fall in love with Miss Piggy at first sight. And then as soon as she's like, well, I'm going to come to Hollywood with you, he's like, whoa, lady, we barely know each other. And I'm like, I think he's protesting a little bit too much. I think he's like, he's scared of, you know, commitment.
Yeah. I do like that. I like their relationship dynamic in this movie. I like that they go on a date.
Yeah.
I like that there's kind of a back and forth with how they feel about each other and their commitment to each other, which I think is true of their characters in other Muppet media.
Yes. Yeah. And it is always sort of the thing, their dynamic, it always sort of has the thing where, like, Miss Piggy is coming on a little bit stronger than Kermit.
Yeah.
And Kermit is a little bit, like, embarrassed by, like, the level of, like, PDA and stuff.
He's just a soft boy.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean the felt.
Right, yeah. Although he is literally texturally soft as well.
Yeah. I want to touch Kermit. I want to feel his texture.
I want to touch Yabba. I am obsessed with the texture of Kermit.
I'm glad you brought up the ice cream because it's time for another installment of Would We Eat This?
Yeah, David, I figured this would be happening.
Yeah, I almost forgot about it.
I thought about doing it with some of the frog leg dishes from earlier, like the frog leg goulash and stuff. But then this scene came up, and I was like, the place for it is really the ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
I have never had frog legs. I don't think I ever would.
I have had frog legs.
Okay. I can't imagine they're very... there's a lot of protein on them.
Yeah, I regret to inform you, David, that the frog legs that I had, I got them from a pretty high-end restaurant here in town.
Oh, okay.
Tinderbox Kitchen. When my parents helped High Priestess Pod and I build our deck last year as a thank you for their free labor. We took them out to a nice dinner at Tinderbox here. And one of the items on the menu, because we did like the fixed menu where they just bring you whatever the chef crafted. And one of the things was like frog legs that were like fried in like a cornbread batter. And I regret to inform you that they were one of the most delicious things I've ever eaten.
Wow.
So frog legs done well.
I mean, I suppose you fry anything and it's good, but like
it was so it is like really tender, really juicy chicken. It is like the best. A well executed frog leg is like the best chicken wing you've ever had in your life.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I for some reason eating reptiles or amphibians feels a little strange to me.
Yeah.
And we live in Arizona, and like there's a restaurant that my dad used to go to as a kid that had deep fried rattlesnake and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever had those, but
I've eaten snake before too. Snake, from what I remember, snake was a little bit more like fish-like in texture. And I don't remember having strong feelings about it when I had it. I had it as a kid at like one of those types of places where it was like kind of a novelty thing that they had on the menu. But yeah, frog legs, if you can get them done well, they're really fucking good.
Okay.
And I do feel bad about it watching this movie. You know, I'm like, Kermit should obviously say no to being the spokesman for this frog leg company. However, I would patronize Doc Hopper's frog legs. I would be in that drive-through.
I can't imagine Doc Hopper's frog legs ever attaining the level of success that it apparently has, where it's like the KFC of this world.
Right, yeah.
I can't imagine those popping
a
up
frog
across
leg
the country.
chain, taking America by storm.
Yeah.
An alternate history where instead of Church's Chicken, there's just a Doc Hopper's frog legs on every corner in a mid-sized American town.
I might take frog legs over Church's Chicken.
Yeah.
I had Church's Chicken in Prescott when during one of our rehearsals.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever had it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Pretty unremarkable.
Yeah,
especially,
Popeyes is better.
Especially when there's a Popeyes just down the road.
Popeyes is better. Popeyes is
but the ice cream.
Yes, the ice cream. Right.
Honey and Dragonfly Ripple.
Yeah, I feel like we don't need to spend any time on honey. That's obviously a hard yes from both.
Yes.
Honey ice cream sounds delightful. Honey as a flavor, I feel like it's one of the best, like as far as like natural sweet things, the flavor of honey is obviously up there in terms of like it's what you want, you know. Dragonfly Ripple is interesting. Though for me, it sort of depends on what the ripple is, right? Like, what are we talking? Is the only flavor of the ice cream dragonflies? Like, is it just bug flavored ice cream? Or is the ripple some kind of like, do we have a citrus thing going on?
Right.
Is there maybe like a vanilla component to this?
And it's not clear visually.
No, it's just green.
Right.
Yeah.
The ice cream, the ice cream looks like kind of a sherbet, fruity ice cream when he first gives them the cones.
Yeah. And then there's like a later shot. Yeah, where it maybe looks maybe a little more pistachio-y.
Yeah, it's like melted a bit, and it starts looking a little bit more like gray and kind of gross, and maybe more like bug ice cream.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think I crossed the threshold, I think, when I said I would eat the crazy psychedelic stew in altered states.
Right.
So I think I have to say that I would try Dragonfly Ripple ice cream.
Yeah, I feel like if you would eat the fucking evil psychoactive mushroom garbage stew, yeah, there's very little is off the table.
Yeah. I'm taking a bite of that.
I think I would. Yeah, I think I'd at least try Dragonfly Ripple. I'd like give it a couple licks
to see
and see
what
what
it's
we're
about.
dealing with. Here's the thing. Like, this is what I was thinking when I was preparing ahead of time for this question. In order for it to be ice cream, you're right. It could be like maybe we're dealing with a sherbet or sorbet type of thing where maybe there's no dairy in this. But if it is like a dairy ice cream, if there is like heavy cream and sugar and then dragonflies in this, mostly what I'm going to be tasting is probably cream and sugar.
Right.
And that's good regardless, you know? So I'm like, I don't know what bugs taste like.
You're probably not going to get a big chunk of dragonfly in
Right.
there.
Yeah. It's probably mostly going to just taste like ice cream. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And you know what? Like, I'm also not opposed to trying bugs, like those fucking fried crickets and stuff. Like, I
Yeah.
would give those a shot.
The scorpion lollipops.
Yeah. So like, why not?
That's very Arizona.
It
ladies
is,
and
yeah. If
gentlemen.
you don't know what we're talking about with scorpion lollipops, you gotta, take a trip to the Grand Canyon sometime,
or
stop in any gift shop,
Yeah, literally any gift shop in this fucking state.
gas stations. They
Right
sometimes
next
have
to
them at the counter.
right next to the fucking Route 66 shot glasses.
Yep.
And the hot sauces with cowboys on them.
Yeah.
Uh,
This has been Would We Eat This?
Yep.
Yeah, so but the other thing with the Miss Piggy, when they pick up Miss Piggy, it's funny that she wins a beauty pageant. Like, I like that that's her introduction.
Yeah.
Is that she's like a small town beauty queen in like the deep south.
So some of these Southerners voting in this beauty pageant do want to fuck that pig.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
And I like that there's like what's his name? Edgar Bergen, I think is his name.
The ventriloquist.
Yes. The very famous ventriloquist. Sort of an inspiration for some of the puppeteers in the Muppets crew, and they do like kind of a nice little legacy nod to him.
Yeah.
In this scene where he is like one of the judges at this beauty contest.
This is his
or whatever.
final film role.
Yeah.
And the film is dedicated to him at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that whole bit. And I just like Miss Piggy winning this beauty pageant, and like they like put her on a throne and like put a tiara on her and shit. It's like such a good character introduction for her. And then they make her and Kermit make eye contact, and we do the whole like fantasy romance number, and then they're in a bunch of different costumes in this fantasy sequence where like they're wearing like Renaissance shit at one point, and they're like they're in a boat. It's like she's imagining them in all these scenarios. It's just very funny.
Yeah. I really like that sequence too.
Yeah.
We've been talking very positively about this movie.
Yeah.
Is there anything in this movie that you don't like, or is even like a flaw for you, or a part of the movie that's just weaker than the rest demonstrably? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no way to answer this question without tipping my. I mean,
I know what you're gonna say.
But
I know what your verdict is.
But no, I kind of think a thing that I was planning on saying in my verdict, but I think is best suited now as an answer to this question is no. I think this is a perfect movie.
Okay.
I think 1979's The Muppet Movie is a perfect movie. I don't think there's anything about this movie I would change.
Okay.
But I also understand that I have a strong nostalgic attachment to it and like more of a relationship with the Muppets and stuff. So there might be stuff that you thought of that I'm overlooking. But
I don't know that there is.
Yeah.
I mean, and I suppose there are parts of the movie that worked better for me than others. Some of the vignettes and the comedic elements and like the some of the stuff with like the used car salesman is maybe like not as memorable as Joshua Tree or Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
But it's so funny when Sweetums swats that fly on the price sticker and it goes from being $1,195 to $11.95.
And then I like him lifting up the car.
Yeah. And the guy trying to sell them the Volkswagen Bug, and he puts his hand on it, and the fender just falls off.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Removable fenders for tight garages."
Yeah. So I don't know that I had anything, but as someone who had seen this movie more than me, you know, sometimes you watch a movie over and over and over again, and you start picking up on those little things.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was anything.
No, there's
that
nothing
for
like
you.
that for me in this one. This is like a real, This one is pretty unimpeachable in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, or should we just roll that into the verdicts?
Yeah, I feel like we can. I think we've mostly covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justus is
yes.
The Muppet Movie, the greatest movie ever made.
David. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be anticlimactic, but yes, I just said it's a perfect movie. This is the greatest movie ever made. It is, in my opinion, far and away, well, maybe not far and away, but it is by a by a healthy margin, I think, the best Muppet movie. I would take this even over Muppet Christmas Carol, which I love so, so dearly. And I just think this thing is really special, man. I think, like, a couple things we haven't talked about that I would like to talk about during my verdict are, there's the scene with the showdown with Doc Hopper. And they do like the old West thing, which is a very fun thing. But the showdown ultimately is Kermit trying to reason with him and be like, I just want to go do what I'm passionate about. I met all these people who are my friends who feel the same way, and you want to stop us from pursuing our dream. Like, just think about that. And like, if you can live with that, fine. But I just want you to understand what you're asking me to give up, and then like the line that he says to Hopper that really stuck out to me is like, who are your friends? These guys? And it's a bunch of guys that he's paid to hang out with him and be his lackeys and stuff. And I was thinking about like the world that we live in now and how fucking billionaire oligarchs have taken over all of the levers of power in this country, and all of them just seem sad and lonely and like they have no love in their lives. And the thing that they've decided to do to remedy that is to just control everybody, And it's like, man, it really feels like this movie is like prophetic in some ways, but also like that shit was also going down in the 70s in ways too. So like in some respects nothing's changed, but like that moment of this movie is one of many things in this movie that makes it feel very special and greater than the sum of its parts. And I love that like Doc Hopper's reaction to that is not like, oh, he melted my heart, I'm a good guy now. It's like, no, kill the frog, right? And then Animal has to save the day, because Jim Henson and company understood that you can't talk reason into these people. You can't melt the hearts of greedy capitalists and get them to see the error of their ways. That's not how it works in the Muppet Movie, which is like the most optimistic view of the world that there is, And it's like, I think that truth in this movie is just one example of all of the areas where I think it is like very like wise, and in addition to being hilarious and well made and technically very well executed, and all of the songs being absolute fucking fire. And so, yeah, like there's shit like that in here that like really gets me thinking and gets me fired up, and makes me feel like Jim Henson is still, despite his untimely death in the early 90s, he is still like with us in a meaningful way, Yeah. And like his legacy is still like a very like empowering and comforting thing to lean on when you are not just a creative, but like anybody struggling with how dark the world and America has become. It feels like Jim Henson. There's the scene where Fozzie Bear sings America the Beautiful, and there's just a bunch of beautiful landscape photography of like Yosemite and shit too. Yeah. And it's like Jim Henson believed in America, but he didn't believe in the Doc Hoppers of America. He believed in like the people and like collective action and creativity and art and beauty, And it's like, we all need more of this. Like, it's almost been 50 years since this movie came out, and I feel like America needs the Muppet Movie more than ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, we should just give the standard rich and famous contract to more like little weirdos who are gonna make shit with their whole fucking hearts. Yeah, it's the greatest movie ever made. Yeah. Goddamn right it is.
What was your cry count? We never went over that.
So I cried Rainbow Connection the first time. I got misty-eyed and like tears were welling, and I'm gonna count it during I'm Going to Get Back There Someday, Gonzo's song. And then at the end, there's a I'm just gonna say a transcendent moment in the Rainbow Connection reprise where, they're singing the song again with new verses, and as they're assembling the movie, all the moments that you saw earlier, they're assembling them on the backline, on the set. And Kermit turns directly to the camera and sings the line, "I've noticed you're watching too." And he's like talking directly to you. And I was just like, it felt like Jim Henson reaching through time and thanking me for giving a shit about this thing that he cared so much about. And I was like, it is the most beautiful thing that I have experienced in a while, and I'm about to cry again talking about it.
Yeah, for those of you listening at home,
yeah, it's
this man is crying.
It's just, man, it really gets me.
Yeah,
I noticed you're watching too really gets me, because it's like, and it just makes me it made me want to say back to the TV, like, I am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. It's the greatest movie ever made.
Okay.
That's the first time that a cry count has ever, I think we added one to the cry count on mic. It was 3 and now it's 4 talking about it.
I think we both had a couple cries on the show, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to think, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah. David, is the Muppet Movie the greatest movie ever made?
It'd be so fucked up if I said no right now.
That would be wild, but also like, it was your first time watching it, and I feel like I wouldn't hold it against you, because I'd be like, maybe this one has to bake a little bit more or something. But.
I do think this one needs to bake a little bit more for me personally, but I think it's the greatest movie ever made. I think this is for me as good as the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
By a hair's breadth, I probably prefer Christmas Carol just because I've seen it so many times in my childhood, and then we did it for the show a couple of years ago. But this made me appreciate what Jim Henson meant to people.
Yeah.
What the Muppets meant for the larger world of art and children's entertainment, and why they were so special. And why it's so disheartening to me that they're in the hands of a corporation like Disney, who, yes, has done good things with the Muppets, but currently doesn't seem to have anything useful to do with them other than just make a quick buck by selling their characters to fucking booking.com ads or some shit. Outside of stuff like, some of the best Pixar movies, there's a real lack of children's entertainment today that is able to entertain them, make them laugh, but also make them think and feel and understand why they are thinking and feeling that way.
Yeah.
And I think this movie does that. It's a movie about pursuing your dreams. And so many kids' movies are about that, but so few of them treat that message as powerfully and seriously as this movie does. Because it's pursuing your dreams in the face of predatory capitalism, in a world that wants to pay you to sell your soul, where pursuing art and pursuing your creative passion can be so difficult and doesn't have that monetary reward to it. Totally didn't expect that from this fucking movie.
Yeah,
I just kind of expected a fun, light road trip romp with the Muppets, and it is also that.
It's also that,
and it does that so well with so many great comedic moments from these characters. So many visually stunning and mind-boggling sequences where you're just wondering how they got all these puppets on screen, or how they married this puppet to a real life location. And really, really great songs. And it moves along at such a nice pace. It's short, but it's also like
gives you time to sit and relax and sit in the world and think about things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really fucking enjoyed the shit out of this movie. And I think it was something that I needed to experience at this particular time. And I can see why Jim Henson was so important to so many people, the way that Bill Watterson is so important to me as the writer of Calvin Hobbes, because I think both of these pieces of art and these characters achieved similar things in their heyday. And I can understand now why your mother cried when Jim Henson died, because you guys were going to grow up in a world without him.
Yeah.
Because it seems like this movie just captures everything that he stood for, and everything that he believed in as a person and as a creative, in a really beautiful way. And it also has Animal going, woman, a bunch, and that's fun too.
Yeah. Yeah. He eats a seat cushion.
I like him eating the seat cushion. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like Statler and Waldorf. I love that the first line in the movie from a Muppet is from Statler and Waldorf.
Yes, and they're shit talk. They're like, this movie's gonna suck ass, basically, which is really funny. Yeah. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I feel like I have things to add to my verdict now that you've done yours. Like, I feel like there's a couple things that I also wanted to say that I haven't said yet. So I guess
you already say so much on this show, Justus.
I know.
Go ahead.
While you were talking about the aside from like the best Pixar movies, there's not a lot of like children's entertainment like this. Another thing that I was thinking about watching this movie last night was Ghibli movies, and how much this movie feels like Miyazaki movies as well, in that it feels like sometimes a little like lackadaisical pace wise, maybe not in the same way that Miyazaki movies do, but it like takes its time, and it is about like working hard at your passions and being kind to each other and having community and stuff. And it also contains that like emotional and thematic depth that I feel like you get out of Miyazaki movies. And so I feel like that's like another good analog, as well as like the Pixar stuff, to like stuff that kind of has this same spirit behind it, you know? And then the other thing that I didn't want to end the show without talking about is the scene where Kermit is talking to his conscience, and there's the two Kermits, really stuck out to me this time, because it was like sort of following through on a thing from the beginning that stuck out to me too, which is like when Dom DeLuise is saying, you know, come to Hollywood, they're auditioning frogs, you can be rich and famous. The thing that sells him is not the rich and famous part. The part that sells him is Dom DeLuise says you can make millions of people happy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that sticks for him. He goes, millions of people happy, and he's like, well, I guess this is worth doing then. Like, I should do this if that could happen, right? And then when Kermit is talking to his conscience towards the end, he says, because he walks away from the campfire and says, I never promised anybody anything. And he's talking to his conscience, and he says, I guess it's not true that I never promised anybody anything. I promised me, right? And I love that the two things that motivate Kermit, and sort of Kermit as the stand-in for the Muppets team, all the people behind this, is not the riches and the fame, right? It is the happiness of others and self-fulfillment. And it's like it's such a clear statement from the movie that it's like, these are the reasons to do this. The reasons to pursue any passion you have is not material gain and fame. It is to bring joy to others and, satisfaction and like self-love, right? It's like those are the two reasons to do it, is to make other people happy and to make yourself happy.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't have a cry count per se, but I was misty-eyed during the whole Joshua Tree sequence.
Yeah.
So Gonzo's song, Kermit's little spirit journey.
Yeah.
That was all just like misty-eyed. And then I was starting to form tears at the very end when
when they're making the movie and the set collapses and they rip a hole in the top of the studio, and you think that like, okay, well, everything's over, and then the rainbow comes down, and then we get the shot of all the Muppets singing together, all the hundreds or the dozens of Muppets all on screen together. That was like really getting me. And then Sweetums ran through the fucking movie screen.
I just knew I'd catch up with you guys.
And then Animal's like, go home.
And I also like all the Muppets like talking in the theater over the credits. Too.
That kind of killed the mood. But,
right.
Okay. I think that's enough about the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
Perfect film.
Really spectacular film. I'm really glad that I watched it. I'm in a weird state, and I'm really tired. So let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening so much.
We don't necessarily know what our episode is going to be next week because of some scheduling stuff.
Scheduling wise, we don't know. We don't know if we're gonna have an episode next week.
We'll try and have something for you. We're not sure what it's going to be.
I'm going out of town.
Yes.
So the next movie that I'll be talking about you with, I can share that.
Right.
But if we don't get the episode done in time and you do something on your own, that's different.
Right.
But the next time you and I sit down with microphones to talk about a movie together, recently we watched Samurai Cop.
Yes.
And that got me in the mood for other unconventional samurai films.
Okay.
I've been really wanting to watch this movie again and talk about it with you. So we're going to watch Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker and directed by Jim Jarmusch.
This was a previous media recommendation, right?
It may have been. I don't know.
I'm glad I didn't take it if it was, because this will be my first time seeing it, and I'm excited. It's directed by Jim Jarmusch?
Yes.
I don't think I fully internalized that when you were telling me about this movie before.
Yeah.
I thought it was like some campy, shitty, nothing movie. But it's Forrest Whitaker and Jim Jarmusch.
It is, yes.
Cool.
It is definitely not a campy, shitty, nothing
movie. Great.
Samurai Cop is.
Just the name Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai primed my brain for it to be something that I think it clearly is not.
Yeah. So we'll be covering that next time I'm on Mike with Justus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have that next week, or maybe not. We'll figure it out.
I'm going out of town. Both of us are really busy. Our schedules are kind of hard to match up right now, which is why we're recording this at fucking 11 o'clock at night. Thank you guys for listening. We love you so much. Leave us a comment. Follow us on Instagram at TGMEM_podcast. Podcast.
And for the love of God, watch some Muppets this week. Do something nice for your brain while the world is the way it is.
Or watch Crank with Jason Statham. Fucking Jason Statham's got to be in a Muppet movie.
Oi, look at all these fucking Muppets. Kermit.
Kermit, we're going to get the hostages.
Miss Piggy, you're looking mighty
Kermit, Statham should fuck Miss Piggy.
So Jason Statham being horny for Miss Piggy is a no-brainer. Yeah.
Kermit, look at Jason Statham.
Oh.
He's so tall and handsome.
Oi, Miss Piggy, I can teach you some karate moves.
Yeah. We love you guys. Until the next time we see you. Later, dipshits.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Greatest Movie Ever Made. Please remember to leave us a rating and a review, and to subscribe to the show wherever you listen. We appreciate you supporting the show and spreading the word. Tell your friends to listen, tell your enemies to listen, tell your mom to listen. If your neighbor has an unsecured Bluetooth speaker, connect to it and play an episode. You can follow us on social media at TGMEM_podcast. And if you've got a movie that you want us to talk about, send us an email at thegreatestmoviepodcast@gmail.com.
Fuck me in the ass. You're the fuck me in the ass man. Fuck me in the asshole tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for an asshole pounding. You've got my prostate feeling all right. It has to stay in. It has to stay in, I guess.
There we go. Sorry, I'm still thinking about the ass fucking.
I've been listening to too much Come Town.
Yeah.
Hey, doggy. Hi, doggy.
Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.